Hello guys, you are all welcome to my channel. Today we shall be talking about the site and situation of a settlement and how to describe the site and situation of a settlement from a topographical map. When asked to describe the site and situation of a settlement from a map, we should recall the fact that the site of a settlement is simply the actual geographical location of that settlement. In other words, it is the actual ground on which the settlement is standing, which such physical attributes, such as vegetation, soil, a river or water sources where it is found, are given to it. Settlements which are found on top of hills are hilltop settlements. We have, for example, the case of the Mandara settlement in northern Cameroon. Settlements on a plateau are referred to as plateau settlements, so just like the Ngaoundéré in Cameroon too. Settlements found on the lower section of a slope are called the foothill settlements. Those settlements are found in valley slopes or valley floors. They are usually referred to as valley settlements, such as Wum in Menchum Valley. We also have settlements that are mostly sited on river banks, on plains, or on islands. We have the case of Bafia in the Senegal. We have Ndop on the Ndop Plain. We have also Fernando Po on the island of Fernando Po too. On the other hand, the situation of a settlement is its position relative to other places and human activities. Or in other words, we can say that situation simply refers to the relationship between the settlement and its surrounding. Settlements may be situated relative to a means of transport, such as a navigable river too, so much so that we can call such a situation a linear situation because of the way they are being aligned along the road. Settlements will be found around frontier towns, so much so that they act as boundaries between two contrast regions or two different states. We can refer to such settlements as a frontier situation. Here we are looking at a settlement like the settlement of around the south region, where we have a Bulowa acting as a commuting town and at the same time a frontier situation between Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon. Okay, we also have the situation of Manfé, which is found in the southwest region. It is similarly a frontier. It has a frontier situation since it acts as a boundary, a national boundary between Cameroon and Nigeria. Settlements may also be sited around sea or oceans, so as to enjoy the advantages that go with their location, such as Douala, which has an ideal port situation found beside the River Wuri. We have Kribi. Kribi is found at the Kribi Sea, so it also has a port situation. The settlement might be found around the railway terminus or around the town crossroad, so much that we can call such a situation a crossroad situation. So we are going to be describing the site and the situation of a settlement, and when we are asked to describe the site and situation, what are the requirements, or what are we supposed to take into consideration? The first issue is to identify and name the settlement whose site and situation is to be described. Most often students get into describing the site and situation of a settlement without mentioning the name of the settlement and identifying the location where it is found, whether in terms of site, if it is found on a highland or it is found on the lowland, or maybe in terms of situation, is it found in the north, in the east, west, south of the map, or of west, south of any other place around area. So it's often very important to identify and name the settlement whose site and situation is to be described. Secondly, identify the roads and rivers passing through the settlement. It's very important that you identify the roads and rivers passing through the settlement. These are features that will help us to describe the location of that settlement. You should also identify any highland, valleys, or any other physical and human features that may be used to locate the settlement. We are also going to draw a sketch map to show the rivers, the road, the railway, and the high grounds around the settlement. On that, we are going to use darkened boxes to show the settlement and write the name of the settlement. We're using darkened boxes because that is the conventional symbol used to represent settlements on the topographical map. So that's the geographical sign which is used to represent settlements on the topographical map. So the first thing we have said, we're going to use a writing material, which is simply a clean sheet of paper here, and we're going to use an HB pencil to sketch, first of all, the relief, to sketch the site and the situation of the settlement in question. Let us consider here that we are still working on the map of Muea and environs, and we have been asked to describe the site and situation of Muea town, considering that this is Muea. We talk about Muea does not mean all this area. You remember that we have other areas too. We have other areas. So we talk about Muea and environ. We are referring to Muea and the other areas. But here now we have been limited to work on Muea. So I'm going to draw an appropriate frame where I'm going to show the various features found around the town of Muea. Roads. From there, I'm going to identify the roads and the rivers that cut across around this area. So I'm going to identify the road. If you look at it, it's a straight road having no bend, which means if you look at the key tool on the key, this is the tar road. So I'm going to indicate it as well. Tar road. Done drawing already. I've inserted the physical features and the human features that are found around the area, Muea, and therefore I'm going to give a title to this diagram. Write sketch. I simply write the site. And the situation. Site and situation of Muea. Okay. Then from here, I can give it do my key. What do I have here? Features. You should not draw this with a free hand, please. Always draw with a ruler. Makes your work neat. So the first one I have here. This is a highland region. Remember, we say we have to identify both physical and human features. So I'm going to share this one too. This is a lowland region. Next, we do have features like the river. Since it is a river and indicates a flow, we don't need to put in a box. So we can put there River Mungo. River Mungo. We also have a third road, sounds like a river. Both of them indicate flows and therefore are not supposed to be placed in boxes. Right, third road. Have another road which is on third. So on the key is called the earth road. There's a road that's on third. Here is the road here referring to the earth road with the red line. And lastly, we do have. So I won't put all the key of that which is found on the map. I'm simply going to use a very big frame to put everything together. Making sure that my map is well centered. It shouldn't be hanging on one side of the frame. There, you can put here guiding direction, pointing towards the north, and then underline the title too. Very important. So there we are good to go. Here we already have the sketch diagram showing the site and situation of Muea. So that's really a very good part of it. Now we are supposed to describe now the site and the situation of Muea. It's very simple to describe the site and situation of Muea based on the diagram we already have here. Considering the fact that we have said the site is the actual ground on which a settlement is found. So what is the actual ground on which Muea is found? Definitely Muea is found on a low-lying area, and if you look at it very well, it's very close to a river valley, which is River Mungo. And since it's very close to the banks of River Mungo, we can simply describe Muea as having a riverbank situation. It is found aligned along the main road or the third road, and this is because they want to carry out commerce, most particularly since the roads are major points where people meet on a daily basis. So we can simply refer to we can describe its situation here as a commercial town, given the fact that it carried out commerce, the reason why the settlement is as such. We can also describe the situation of this settlement here as a linear situation because of the outlay of the settlement. It takes a linear form or a cluster-linear situation. So also we can simply also refer to the site, the situation of this settlement based on the fact that it is found at a lower slope of a highland, and therefore we could also call it as a foothill situation because it's found at a foothill or at the lower slope of a highland. Those are just some few ways in which you can describe the site and the situation of an area, but the most important thing is that you must recall that you must draw a sketch map to illustrate the site and the situation of that area. And when drawing a sketch map, you take note of the fact that you are supposed to put into your map both physical and the human features that are found around that settlement. So guys, we have come to the end of these tutorials. I hope you enjoyed the class and you've understood something from here. You should take note, both ordinary level and advanced level. We are going to do this in the GCE examination in Cameroon and for the world also. It's very important we study this. Subscribe to my channel and always remember to ring the notification bell so much so that you will be notified at each moment when there is something to share. Knowledge is always good when it's shared, so remember to share to your various WhatsApp groups. Remember to share to your various Facebook, so much so that knowledge is being spread out throughout the world. Thank you for listening.